from a natural experiment in Canada from 1998 to 2006, published in 2011. It basically examined the introduction of earning disregard and automatic restatement in the Canadian pension plan disability program. I show you how I decided to explain this paper. At the beginning, a little overview for explaining the main characteristic of the paper, after a policy and background to understand the Canadian situation, after a literary review for understand how the economists devote a lot of attention to the link between labor market and disability policy. Then I show you the data, the empirical strategy, so the result, the finding, and a little conclusion with a general framework that I give you later. So the overview, the main characteristic of this paper are the parameters, are the automatic restatement and the earning from insurance without losing benefit of the disability beneficiaries. The case studies is from Quebec and the other province of Canada, so Greater Canada, and the measurement are the probability of employment of beneficiaries and the flows of disability growth. I know that the expectation of the authors is that with the introduction of earning disregard and automatic restatement, we have an increase in the labor market. But in reality, the authors show us that also with the introduction of automatic restatement and earning disregard, we have no effect. So, Canada have two pension programs, one that covers all individuals that live in Quebec and another for the other province of Canada who have benefit from the disability program, all individuals with prolonged or severe disability that prevent them from working, and the whole individual that satisfy contribution requirement of plan. The others show also other disability programs like the USA Equals, so Social Security Administration Disability Insurance. So the other utilize a difference in a different strategy. So the authors compare Quebec to Canada in two comparison groups. Canadian is the treatment group and Quebec is the comparison group. And with this comparison, they estimate the change policy. A lot of economists devoted attention to the link between labor market and disability policy. I show to explain you Warner, because Warner utilized the same compare way for explain the program. In fact, he analyzed the SDI, so the USA equals of the program. He compared a large group to another that increased over time earning exemption, and he utilized a cross-country comparison. But Warner arrived at the conclusion that earning the exemption key increased incentive to work. But after I explain you that the authors of this paper, completely Riddle, arrived to another conclusion. So, completely Riddle used the Statistics Canada Longitudinal Administrative Data Bank, that is a confidential annual panel data set. It is based on 20% random sample tax file. So they use only the data that people give to the state, like the detailed income information and sources of income per individual, like age, marital status, no socioeconomic characteristic, because tax files don't have it. This is the situation. This is CPPD, so the program that covers Canada, and QPPD, the plan that covers the Quebec. We know that until 1998, benefit and contribution change in the same way, and we can see that after 1998, Quebec QPPD have no changes, but there is 2 changes in CPPD. One in June 2001, introducing earning exemption, setting it at $3,800, and the other changes is on February 2005, introducing of an automatic restatement provision, valid up to 2 years after leaving disability role. But who benefit of these changes, and how people benefit of these changes? The authors decide to explain this characteristic with this linear probability model. Epsilon is a dummy variable, alpha is an intercept of epsilon axis. CPP is equal to 1 in the region covered by CPPD program and 0 in the region covered by QPPD. After is equal to 1 in the year after the policy change, and 0 otherwise. CPP star after show us the behavior of the beneficiary of disability program. X is the variable, and epsilon is the earlier term. What they want to analyze with this formula, they want to analyze 3 probabilities. The probability of to enter in the Qs and CPPD program, the probability of employment of CPPD and QPPD beneficiaries, and the probability of leaving the 2 programs. They study this program in that period. In all periods they omit 2001 because in that year there was an economic slowdown, and there is the introduction of earning disregard, and that is very important. In that they analyze 2 cities. The city of Quebec analyzed is Gatineau, and in Canada the city analyzes the capital, so Ottawa. That is a broader city, too close. That is it's important because city very close are too different. With that formula that I explained before, they show with this table labor market in table 2 of whole population of Canada, and in table 3 of only of the disability beneficiaries sample. But what they want to show us, they show us that with the introduction of earning disregard, we have a change in the employment. The earning level change from 1998 to 2006. We know that until 2000 all changes are in the same way, but after the introduction of earning disregard, total percentage increase of 15%, but the increase of Gatineau is lower than Ottawa. Ottawa is the city where the program have policy changes. And we know that the other policy changes is the automatic restatement, but the others show us that there is no increase with these changes. And they give us three reasons. One is the limited room to encourage labor market participation. The other is if also people decide to have disability pension, but they were unable to work. And the third reason is that CPPD satisfies people concerned over inability to sustain employment. So we arrive at the end to the outcome. We know that they study three probability: enter in the program, the employment, and leaving the program. We know that also with the introduction of earning disregard and automatic restatement, there is no difference with to enter in the disability in the labor market, but there is a difference with the introduction of earning exemption. In fact, we can see that the employment increase in the city covered by CPPD, so city covered by the program which have changes, and the Gatineau city covered by QPPD have lower level than the other. And we know, as I said before, that the introduction of automatic restatement is statistically significant, and also in the probability of leaving the program, we know that there is no effect. The authors refute an economic theory that affirms that earning exemption is an effective policy to aid in the integration and reintegration of receipt in the labor market. But, as I said before, there is no increase in uptake of CPPD benefit. Why there is no uptake effect? The others give us the reason of a stricter screening of application, because it's difficult for marginal applicants, because there is no severe disability, and because the labor market give them a poor prospect. So at the end, I give you a general framework to understand the main characteristic of the paper, so the comparison between two programs. The fact that until 90 I finish. So that is all paper. This is two programs. Until 1998, benefit and contribution change in the same way. Two changes on CPPD program on 2001 and 2005 with introduction before of earning disregard, after of an automatic restatement. They decided to analyze these changes with this linear probability model. They have three studies: probability of using disability roles, of probability of employment for C and QPPD beneficiaries, and probability of leaving the disability role. No changes, only for earning extension in employment, only increase. So at the end, they refute economic theory that affirm that earning disregard may be an effective policy instrument to add their integration in the labor market. They founding with their linear probability model there was no uptake, and why? They give us this reason, stricter screening, and that is an important direction for the future for all economists that will study the link between labor market and disability policy.